Hi everyone, Staff here at the TAB. Well, the Investec Super Rugby round robin has completed and we have our final six. And I guess the biggest surprise from last week was that the Sharks have finished up in sixth ahead of the Bulls. I think everyone was talking about the ramifications and the what ifs all around the draw and what was going to happen last weekend. No one really mentioned that the Sharks were a chance to beat the Bulls up there at Loftus, but they did. So we have a slightly different look to the playoff mix this weekend. We start on Friday night, of course, with the Blues hosting the Waratahs, and the Waratahs have got a horrible record in Auckland against the Blues, so that way you sort of tend to favour the Blues. But if you try and take the patch, the New Zealand patch off your eye, I think you'll agree that the Waratahs have been in pretty good nick the last few weeks, especially in Africa. They only went down narrowly a couple of times over there, which is a little bit better than what some of the New Zealand teams have done over there. So they're in good form. They have lost to Tafu Pilota now, which I think is massive. I heard Phil Waugh say he's one of the best players in the world. Well, probably one of the top 100 players, but he is a very good player and he is in very good nick. And Daniel Halangahu, they've lost him as well. So I just tend to think that that's taken the gloss off the Waratahs. I could have seen an upset there because, as you know, the Blues have been hot and cold this year, but I will stick with the Blues 1-12. I'm expecting it to be a good game, a very low-scoring game, because the Waratahs were awesome on defence last week. Just incredible, and they have been for a few weeks, so I think they'll take their defence out and try and smother the Blues. Blues 12 and under just in that one. The other one's really interesting. If the Sharks can bring the game that they played in Pretoria last week, and if anyone watched that Sharks-Bulls game, you'll know what I'm talking about. They were incredible. But the feeling here is that may well have been their final, and it's going to be so hard for them to get up for this one in Nelson against the Crusaders. They're flying over on Thursday, I understand, the Sharks, and they're just going to stay in South African time mode, wake up, go and play. So, interesting tactic. The Crusaders, on the other hand, Todd Blackadder's saying he's going to unleash his team, or he wants the team to unleash themselves. This could be incredible if the Crusaders click and maybe don't stick to that systemed pattern that they've got. They could really put some points on, but I do favour the Crusaders, but only just again, and I think the Sharks, as I say, if they can play like they did last week, they are a chance in this one. So both the New Zealand sides 12 and under, I think, in this one. Nice close match, which will mean that they both go offshore next week in the semi-finals. So that's it for this week. Close ones, 12 and under, both the home sides. Let's hope the Kiwis can make two separate semi-finals.